What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Locked in Sports, bringing you my 6 best bets for today, Monday, April 29th, in the NBA. It has been a minute. Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks since I last uploaded a pick'em video, and honestly, I apologize for that. Life got away from me for a bit, and as you guys know, last few videos I made, we were on a bit of a losing streak, and I just didn't have the time to do the research that I wanted to do to make sure that when I did make a video, it was a sweep, a set of locked-in picks that I was really proud to put out. And then playoffs hit, and well, playoffs are a whole different beast. And now I can finally say that I have the time to do a lot of research that I'm really proud of, and there's enough playoff data to where honestly I have 6 picks that I'm really confident in hitting. And yeah, I think the playoffs are a great spot to find some really locked in picks and make a lot of money, especially in the NBA. So without further ado, let's head into my top 6 picks for today, Monday, April 29th. For my first pick of the day, I'm heading over to the Boston Celtics. I'm taking Jason Tatum for over 5 assists. Why Tatum for assists? Well, in the postseason so far, he's over this in 2 of his last 3 games against the Heat, and he's over in the 2 games that the Celtics won. The Celtics do better when Tatum assists more. And I think that their front office, their coaching staff, and their players are smart enough to notice this trend and notice that the more Tatum passes, the better they do. And this is definitely a spot in the postseason where Celtics want to win. They want to get through this Heat series quickly, take some time off, have some time to practice and rest before the next leg of the playoffs. And so I think they're just going to have Tatum assist a lot here. I think there'll be a lot of plays getting drawn up that have Tatum passing more. And I think Tatum is smart enough to know that his best shot of moving on in the playoffs is to assist. So Jason Tatum for over 5 assists. Next up, I'm actually sticking with the same team, going with another Boston Celtics player. It's Derek White for over 12 and a half points. Kind of goes hand in hand with the Tatum assists line if you think about it. Tatum assists more, White probably scores more off of those assists. But why is assist line, or why his points line here, sorry? Well, he's over it in every game of the postseason. Pretty well over it in a few, too. Yeah. He's over in 3 for 3. He was over in their loss. He's over in their wins. He's just consistently going over 12 and a half points. And I feel like 12 and a half is a really low line for him. I know some of the Celtics players have been fluctuating and having really great games and really off games. Derek White has been one of those guys. He's just been consistently good. He can be great or he can be good, but either way, he's going over 12 and a half points. So Derek White for over 12 and a half points. Next up, I'm hopping over to the other side of the ball here, other side of the court, a Miami Heat player. It's Nikola Jovic for over 8.5 points. Why? Well, this line is stupid low. Jovic is averaging 12 in the postseason. He's over this in all 3 games of the postseason, and his minutes have gone up substantially. With Jimmy Butler out and Nikola Jovic being just a really good rookie, I think he's playing about 12 more minutes per game in the postseason than he was in the regular season. And this 8.5 points line is like where his points line would have been in the regular season. It's absurdly low. He's averaging 3.5 points above it. And I don't see any world where Jovic goes under this, especially when the series is at 2-1 right now. The Heat do not want to go down 3-1. That's a terrible place for them to be. So I think it's really likely that they give it their all, have their starters playing a lot of minutes, and Jovic easily goes over 8.5 points. For my next pick, I'm hopping over to the New Orleans Pelicans, and I'm taking one of their starters. It's Herbert Jones for over 12.5 points. Why? Well, he's averaging 13.7 in the postseason, above this line. He's over in 2 of his last 3 games, the most recent 2, I believe, and he's just really stepping it up on the Pelicans when no one else is. Pelicans are in a rough spot, down 3-0, and none of their starters have really been performing all too well, except for Herbert Jones. He's the one who has been stepping up, has been putting up numbers that at least I would consider impressive for him. And I think this is a good spot to take an over on Herbert Jones, especially when he's going to be fighting to keep his team in the postseason. With Zion out, with Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum just not really bringing it. I think this is a game where Herbert Jones steps up, knows what he has to do, and just does what he's been doing, but even better, easily clearing 12.5 points. For my next pick, I'm taking a player from the Oklahoma City Thunder, Aaron Wiggins, for over 4.5 points. And if you're saying who's Aaron Wiggins, don't worry, same. But I'll tell you who he's going to be. He's going to be someone that makes us a lot of money because 4.5 points is really low for him. He's had 6 points in every single game of the postseason. Yeah, he comes off the bench, scores 6, and that's his game. So I really like backing them for over 4.5 points, especially in a match where I think the Thunder are going to be playing their role players a bit more than usual, especially because it's a low stakes game for them. They're in a great spot. They're up 3-0. They want to be resting their stars because their stars have been putting in a lot of work and they have a long playoff series ahead. And yeah, I think we see increased work from the Thunder bench in a low stakes game where they could sweep. And I think this is a great spot just to back Aaron Wiggins for over 4.5 points. For my sixth and final pick of the day, I'm hopping over to the Los Angeles Lakers to take one of their stars, Anthony Davis, for over 13.5 rebounds. Why? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. He's been averaging 15.8 rebounds in the postseason. He's over in 3 of his last 4 games, and he had 23 in his last game. Their only win against the Nuggets. A big factor in why the Lakers were able to pull out that win was Anthony Davis's rebounding. And just the Lakers rebounding in general. And I think that this is a spot where the Lakers know it's do or die. AD knows it's do or die. And he's going to be grabbing a lot of boards. He saw what happened last game when he was grabbing that many boards and that it got the Lakers their first win in the series. And I think it's a really obvious spot for him to do the same thing here. Grab a ton of boards, dish it out to his teammates, make plays, grab offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, and just really facilitate a lot of the action on the team. So, not going to overthink it. I'm taking Anthony Davis for over 13.5 rebounds. All right, those were my 6 best bets for today, Monday, April 29th in the NBA. As always, here at the end, I like to hand out my cutting room floor picks. It's all the other picks I dig up in my research because I do a lot for these videos. Very proud of it. And find a lot of picks that I like, I endorse, but they don't make my top 6 or however many I want to include in the video that day. But I'll hand them out anyway in case you need some to add to a parlay, want to make an additional last-minute pick, or you just had a good gut feeling about one of these picks anyway. First off, I got Kristaps Porzingis over 15.5 points. He's over in 2 of his last 3, the 2 that the Celtics won. Good spot for Porzingis to score. Bam Adebayo over 19.5 points. He's over this in every game in the postseason. Yeah, it's Bam. He's going to do what Bam does. Nikola Jovic over 5.5 rebounds. Same exact reason that I mentioned his points line. He's doing the same thing with rebounds. If you want to take his points plus rebounds, I think that'd be a great line as well. But as I'm recording this, that line isn't out, so not going to include it, but be a great line to take. Lou Dort over 9.5 points. He's averaging 11 in the postseason, over in 2 of his last 3. And it's a low-stakes game for the Thunder because they're up 3-0. So I think Lou Dort might see a little extra action. SGA, Chet might see a little less. So good spot to back him. Same reason for Aaron Wiggins, over 4.5 points from the Thunder. But he's averaging 6 in the postseason because he has 6 every single game. Super consistent, and I think he'll be seeing increased minutes. This was the pick that I almost added to the video, but I wanted to keep it at 6 instead of 7. But if you want a 7th pick, I like that Aaron Wiggins points line right there. And lastly, I have MPJ for over 8.5 rebounds. He's averaging 9.5 rebounds in the postseason, and he's over in 3 of the last 4 games. His most recent 3, Good spot to back MPJ for rebounds. But of course, I think AD is going to grab a lot too. So might get in the way of MPJ grabbing some. But with those out of the way, hope you found one that you liked. Hope you make some money with them. Hope you make some money with all of the picks in today's video. And I want to say thank you guys for being here. Thanks for understanding that I had a few weeks there where making videos just wasn't fitting in my schedule. And as always, I don't want to rush out picks. I don't want to make videos with under researched picks that end up losing you all money, end up losing me money. Not what I'm trying to do on the channel. But videos should be coming back consistently now. Should be an everyday thing, especially with the NBA season wrapping up soon. We're in the heat of the postseason. It's a really fun time for sports, and I'm really enjoying it. Might have some NFL draft videos coming out because I'm a huge NFL fan as well. Rams had some great draft picks I'd love to talk about. Love to talk about all the picks. Feel like really just haven't talked about the NFL as much as I'd like to. Might do some fantasy draft content as well. I know it's really early, especially for fantasy football, but I love it. I'm already drafting. I know some of you are probably as well. So we'll see what content I end up making. If you want to leave any suggestions down in the comments, I am totally open to knowing what you guys want to see here on the channel. And I'm going to keep pumping out content that I enjoy, content that's fun, and of course, these best bets videos. So thank you guys for being back. We're back. It's Locked In Sports. Yeah, we're here to stay. So with that, let's make some money and have a good one. Yeah.